Disclaimer. We are regular guys who love to talk Bone Thugs and Harmony. We do not represent Bone Thugs or any Bone affiliate. We are also not Bone Thugs experts. The views and information you hear in this podcast may be based on personal opinion. Please feel free to leave corrections and clarifying information in the comments. And enjoy. Kick that shit. What's up, y'all? It's Cecil West, Beyond the Harmony, beyondtheharmony.com, back again with the one and only.
It is he, Mr. John Lippy.
And he is the co-host in Coast to Coast in Come Up Creeper, Never Sour, Always Sweeter, ladies and gentlemen.
I am off mute, Matthew Weaver.
This is Beyond the Harmony. It's been a couple weeks. It's been a little bit of time. I took a new job. I've been doing all this crazy shit. We've been trying to pull it together, but here we are. It's motherfucking Thug Thursday, back for you again. Shout out to everybody that I see in the chat right now. Love everybody. I see people in here. Everybody, man. RC Thugs is in here. Joe Tech's in here. Joe Cal's in here, man. Everybody's up in here. Cold Blooded's in here. John says that I muted S. Perez, the guy that's helped us start our Discord. Shout out to the Discord. No, I unmuted him a long time ago, John. I unmuted him that day.
That
day.
Okay, well I see it. I see it pop up. Yeah.
But it kept him muted, I think, for 24 hours or something. That's what you get. Don't play with me, y'all.
We don't play no games, boy. We be about. But yeah, hey, I'll say this. With the Discord, it's almost like we forget to do the Beyond the Harmony show because we're enjoying ourselves with everybody daily in that Discord. So shout out to everybody that's been dropping just all kinds of awesome Bone stuff in that Discord. Cool combos, not just Bone, but other topics as well. Mm-hmm. So this has been like a crazy new breakout of Beyond the Harmony. So The Discord continues to surprise.
Yeah, man.
We're nothing but constantly evolving. I brag about that all the time. You guys are probably sick of it, but like to me, the Discord is like the fix tapes. It's just little drops, little here and there. Like, oh, that probably should have been on an album though. So come in and see what should have been on the album in the Discord.
Hey, and also I suggest or recommend, highly encourage, that's the word, is after the show, after Beyond the Harmony, y'all feel free to carry on the show in the Discord, in the voice chat. We may or may not be there, but because we're gonna maybe have some time constraints here tonight. But that Discord, the voice chat's there. If you guys feel inspired, fired up to keep the story talking about Bone in that voice chat, it's there for you at all times. And I also think there should be like a weekly voice chat that all of us kind of like get together and just join in outside of this.
The Discord's been fantastic. Shout out to S. Perez for finally pushing us to do it, get it done. People have brought it up before. I think even Matt had brought it up, but finally that was like the hairpin trigger that made it happen, and I've loved it, man. I've been really busy the last few weeks, so it's kind of been like my it's easy for me to jump in and kind of scroll back and see what's happening and what the fuck is going on, and you know, it's been real good. It's been good. I love the people that are in it. People seem to be very active. There's always something going on, and even that, look at how much it's evolved since since we started it, and had like what, 2 little areas you could go in or some shit, just like bone and not bone.
Yeah, what's really cool too is as news has happened, such as like the Eazy-E bill collector, that got to happen live. Like all of us got to experience it in the Discord together. So that was cool. A couple other obviously like the ongoing P. Diddy thing, leading up to Chasing the Devil. So as Bone news is happening, we're all kind of experiencing it together. And that's another like neat aspect of it. Because even if we were doing Beyond the Harmony every week, it's still only going to be on Thursdays, whereas Beyond the Harmony now seems like it's every single day on Discord. So that's awesome.
I think it's the most modern way we can continue the spirit of like the bone boards and stuff like that.
It's definitely. I've talked before about like, Beyond the Harmony, part of the Bone community and the legacy and everything, but how it's like it's different. We've built our own fan base, and a Beyond the Harmony fan isn't necessarily the same as like a BT&H board fan. Not that one is bad and one isn't. It's just the kind of like the reason for being, so to speak, at BT&H board was a little bit different than your reason for being at Beyond the Harmony. So I've always talked about how our fan base is a little bit different, and so Beyond the Harmony may not necessarily fit into the BT&H board shell, so this is kind of like the best of both worlds if you're a hardcore Beyond the Harmony fan. So yeah, the Discord has been great, and yeah, if you love Beyond the Harmony, this is you can Beyond the Harmony 24/7 in this motherfucker. We've really let the people take control too, man. Like we don't I don't think anybody's had to get checked or anything in that. Like people are really good. People kind of moderate themselves, and so no reason for us to do anything. We kind of let the inmates run the asylum unless something psychotic happens, and it hasn't done that so far. Knock on wood.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, just a quick shout out to It's Crazy Life. I see he posted the new EP, Lyrical Pressure by Crazy and Young Gage, hosted by Position.
Hey, that's big.
Okay, yeah. I almost felt like I was like, oh man, did I just leak something I shouldn't leak? I'm reading it right off the screen. Okay. I thought that was like, hey, Johnny boy, what are you doing? Official DJ at Bone Thugs and Harmony is done and coming soon. Let us know if we should have physical copies made. So I just wanted to announce that for It's Crazy Life.
Nice. I love that. Congratulations to our boy Crazy. And, I think Crazy, is that some of the, like, what we've been playing tracks off of? That must be like the Crazy Twista and all that, the Snoop Dogg and all that. That must be from that project, or is this a different project?
By the way, real quick, I just seen Cold Blooded said this. So this morning, because on this Discord, I've just been like, yo, there's so much good stuff getting posted all over the place. We need like a centralized repository. I realized I have like all of us Dual Legacies had some OneDrive just sitting around. I posted a link today, and dude, within minutes, like I didn't even close out of the browser yet. I seen folders start filling up like 800 megs. Cold Blooded must have like the craziest upload speed at his house. So he done dropped some gems in that folder already. So props to Cold Blooded for hopping on that real quick. I mean, dog, I'm talking within minutes of the post happening, that thing just started filling up. That's crazy. And I was wondering who it was. I'm glad he said it. I was just like, yo, somebody's really on it right now. So yeah, props to Cold Blooded, man. And also just wanted to shout out to, I enjoyed the heck out of making that video. I kept promoting like, hey man, I need some people to supply me with material, and Cut Jones, Cold Blooded did. So we got that episode 1 of Skull and Crossroads Society. I had a really good time making that video, and I make thousands of videos, but for whatever reason, it was really enjoyable making this one, just having like other people chip in. And so it was a variety show. It came out exactly the way I wanted it to. along with things that Jordan Corey and RC Thugs that had chipped into me. So it was cool, and I want to do more. I just need people. If you guys ever wanted to do a Beyond the Harmony segment, you know who to reach out to. John Lippy. Hit me on the Discord, PMs, DMs, or do it on Messenger, Facebook. But yeah, I want to do an episode 2. I want this to be an ongoing thing.
That was actually it was a nice little surprise for me as well, because I've been so busy with my new job and everything, so I hadn't really had much going on. So when that popped up, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I got to watch that. It was very enjoyable. It was a fun thing to see. Is that something are just Skull and Crossroads Society members seeing that? Like, is that on?
Well, initially it was members only until
John he just can't keep anything for just the fucking members.
No. Well, no. Just for the member. Well, the first episode, you got to tease people. You got to let people know. Like, how would people know if there's a Skull and Crossroad member show? The first one, obviously, it came out for members only, but then released to the public. Going for and the reason I did that was because I was late on it. I was feeling bad. I was sitting on stuff from Cold and Cut, and I'm thinking that, man, maybe John didn't like what I've submitted, and that's not the case. I just didn't have time to put it together. So like each week, it was 4 weeks, and usually I deliver on the goods, and it was 4 weeks, and it was just like eating me inside, thinking like, man, I hope they don't feel like I don't like their stuff. So that's why it also came out quick and free, because I want to make sure people saw it. Future ones may be members only, so we'll see.
I mean, it does say Skull and Crossroads.
It does.
Which,
it does.
People are paying for exclusive content.
It was exclusive for a short period of time.
Wow. Imagine having a girlfriend that was just exclusive for a short period of time.
Some you get to hang on to, some you got to let free.
Oh my God. Had that problem too. Look, we're tuned in tonight. We're absolutely chilling. You know, last time we had all kinds of people call in, so we're hoping that we got the same situation going on tonight. You can call in 733-570-6161 on Zoom. The passcode is Easy E. Easy E tonight is the passcode with a ZEAZYE. 733-570-6161. It's the top of your screen. Call in. Let's talk some fucking Bone. Let's talk some rap. We'll talk about whatever you want. It's real free flowing tonight, you know?
So I got a question for you guys then, this is a RC Thugs the Type inspired question. So this, over the last 3 weeks since we last met, I accidentally stumbled upon footage of NWA playing the Ouija board. And, as we try to uncover these like origins of Bone stuff, now that we've seen NWA minus Bone, when NWA was still a group playing with the Ouija board, is the Ouija board a Bone invention or an Eazy-E invention?
What?
I guess you didn't see the footage. Nah. I thought I sent it to you guys.
You might have. I've been getting this money.
All right. So there's it's a real short. Actually, here's what's even more interesting about it is I have 3 different recordings of it and only like seconds of it. So one recording is 5 seconds long, and then another recording is like 3 seconds long, and another one is about 4 seconds long. I'm going to put them together, put them on the channel to, combine all the known footage of NWA playing the Ouija board. The first I saw it was on the NWA Ethel for Zaggin home video. It came out on VHS back in the day, and I was rewatching it, and I'm like, yo. And actually, as I was watching it, I remember thinking, I was like, yo, I saw this as a kid. I remember they were playing Ouija board. I didn't remember what part it happened, so I just kept watching. And then I see it. I'm like, dog, I forgot this happened. And I want to see like more footage of it, but I got about a total of 10 seconds. Listen, but it was NWA playing it.
I gotta interrupt because Dylanology said, Bizzy sent me a DM telling me to shut my mouth when I commented on his post saying call his boys instead of posting about them. Well, he should call his homies. I saw Crazy Bone say, I don't know what Bizzy Bone's talking about. This is the only thing I've seen in Bone Thugs and Harmony in 3 weeks because I've been busy, and it was a video of Crazy Bone saying, I don't know what Bizzy Bone's problem is. He ain't talked to me since 2 or 3 weeks before I even went in the hospital. I don't call Bone Thugs and Harmony and ask if I can come to the Bone Thugs show tonight. I see we performing and I just go. I don't know what the fuck Bizzy Bone is doing. Listen, is anybody surprised by this anymore? Like, is this surprising for anybody anymore? It's almost like a fucking joke. Like, how many times can they get you worked up to go, oh, Bizzy Bone, I can't... Listen, he's been being fucking distant and kicked out of the group and leaving the group since Faces of Death. K Chill told you, right, that they wanted him out of the group in Faces of Death, and Kermit told K Chill, hey, that's the money right there. You got to get him to fucking stay in the group. So since like 93, it's wild. It's almost just like none of this is surprising anymore. You know, remember The Gift, the one and only superstar of Bone Thugs and Harmony? That's what it is. But hey, tell me. I didn't want to cut off your NWA. What was the actual question?
Let me just add. I won't forget NWA. But while we're on the busy thing, because now that we have it for the 30th time or whatever time it's been. Going back, watching some old Bizzy interviews or Bizzy lives or whatever the heck they were, he pointed out because you might remember I released that flashback to when Crazy Bone got kicked out of the group legally, like by a document, and there was a video of Bizzy, like they were asking Bizzy about it, and he said, "Well, when you guys asked me if I'm in the group, I've been out of the group as a solo artist since like." For 11 years, he said at the time.
And he made it seem like when he is with the group, like, oh, well, we got together and we worked some real nice business out, you know what I'm saying? So as long as the business is business and the universes are colliding and everything is really harmonious, then we going to be able to work together. But I'm by myself.
Yeah, and but hearing Bizzy pointed out in an older video, if I think it was from 2011 or 2013, just hearing him point out like, hey, I mean, what are you guys even talking about? I haven't really been in the group for 11 years. Like, how is this a shock? And a lot of things crossed my mind was, okay, yeah, Heaven's movie came out, and the delusion I guess we as Bone fans have, we assume Bizzy's like a full-time member all the time, but he's not really. He is sometimes, but not all the time. And I've been trying to think what group it has been like that. But I think it's kind of unique. I mean, Bobby Brown would be off and on in New Edition. But can you think of any other groups where like a member would sometimes be in the group, sometimes not be in the group?
I mean, not to this level of fucking, it's just weird. It's just weird. And as a fan, I've said it a bunch on this show. Like, I'm like, yo, I want a Bone Thugs and Harmony album. I don't even fucking want him on it, if I'm being honest. Like, I didn't want him to show up to the verses. I don't think he should. The guy only uses Bone Thugs and Harmony when it's convenient for him. I don't even fucking want him there.
Well, I know what you mean, but Bizzy is the most interactive with the fans too.
No, but for Bizzy Bone though, not for Bone Thugs and Harmony. Strange. I don't know how you say his name, right? I think it's a Strange Music Flip, but Strange One. He said that Bizzy was the one that talked the most about this 30th year anniversary, and now hasn't been part of it. It's true. He was the one for. Remember 2024, and I was like, and it was like 5 years ago, and he was like. He wasn't fixing to do anything until 2024 World Tour, and
right.
and all that shit, right? And then it happened, and then he's just like, "Oh, I told y'all we was going on a World Tour. It's me and my sons." We're like, "The fuck are you talking about? You guys are just so used to rewriting the fucking narrative right in front of us that you think you're just gonna tell us how you've been talking about you were gonna go on a world tour with your sons for the last 5 years, and it wasn't Bone. What the fuck is going on here? It's not 97 anymore where shit, there was no internet back when they used to say things. So it was easy to rewrite the narrative, 5 years later and say, this is what we said. And it was like, but now it's like, bro, I just scrolled back. All I had to do was scroll back on your Instagram. It says you're going on world tour with Bone. What the fuck is happening right now?
Well, I think the angle, and I don't know this for sure, but I think the angle maybe Bizzy used was that he was a minor. And I think that's how he might have been able to exit out of any, out of the contract that I mean, I guess none of them are in a contract anymore. But this week I was listening to this Johnny Gill Vlad interview, and he said that New Edition's been stuck in a contract for 40 years, which is bonkers to me. So I don't know if by Bizzy getting out on the fact that he was underage at the time, and maybe he just figured out like, all right, well, I got one life, you know, like cats have 9 lives. He's like, oh, I got out of this thing. Thankfully, let me not get myself back into a bad scenario. I don't know.
Look,
trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
This is the thing, dude. I love Bizzy Bone. I love his music, right? It's music from my childhood. If I hear Heaven's Movie, if I hear The Gift, it's something that unlocks doors in my soul, right? The guy himself, I'm always rooting for him. I love to see that he's happy and healthy and not a fucking drunk weirdo on the street. I love to see him thriving. I don't wish bad or anything on him. In fact, it's just the opposite. I only want to see great things for him. But for me to sit back and continue to pretend like I want to see Bizzy Bone with Bone Thugs and I don't want to see that. I don't want to fucking see. I don't even want him to go by the name Bizzy Bone. Just be Brian McCain. You don't want to be part of Bone Thugs and Harmony. He does everything he can. Y'all just gonna have to realize that, you know, we ain't even friends like that. It ain't even like that. Well, God damn it. Who wants to be in a group with somebody that says some shit like that? You know, I heard Crazy Bone. He said, hey, them other guys in Bone, they dropped everything they had going on. Came to me in the hospital. Bizzy Bone didn't even call. Now after this many years of Bizzy Bone saying, we're not even friends, I'm not even in the group, and Crazy Bone saying, this man didn't even call me when they thought I was going to die. Do you want to then hear them on a fucking album together talking that Bone shit? It doesn't feel real. That doesn't feel real to me. The thing that felt good about those Bone albums before was that you believed in the synergy and you believed in the group as them. And it's not believable now. And I'm not saying that like when they're around each other, the rest of the Bone will hate him or what the fuck ever. You know, I think they all at some level, you know, all love each other and whatever, all that shit. But I'm not going to be able to listen to them all on a new album together now and believe that this is all good. In fact, it makes me question a lot of other music that we heard previously.
Or maybe it's part of the gimmick. I mean, it's kept us talking. It keeps people talking about Bone forever. You know, if this conflict wasn't occurring perpetually, the discussions and everything wouldn't be going on. So like now you can say, no, this has definitely hurt the group.
Hold on. Il Mix says, first of all, he wants to get me the fuck out of here. You must be lost on whose channel this is, lil homie. But he says Bizzy is critical to Bone Thugs, all 5. Oh, really? Is that so accurate? What since Unifive in 2010, so 14 years ago, what in the fuck has he been so critical for in success? Tell me how Bizzy in 14 fucking years has been critical about. Nothing. He hasn't been critical to any of their success. He shows up when it's convenient. He shows up at verses. He shows up when they name fucking streets after them. He's not critical to their success. In fact, it goes all the way back to Saturday Night Live. He's detrimental to their success because he shows up when it's convenient for him. If he was critical to their success, then he would be there when it's important and he would actually help make them successful instead of them building the brand and him showing up when the brand finally does something great. He's not critical to their success. He's hurtful to their success. You, sir, don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
So before we did the show, I was just sitting back thinking about what my thoughts were when Heaven's movie came out. And I was wondering what your guys thought. When I say thoughts, were not so much about what the product, the actual album, the content of it, but in your mind, when his solo came, I mean, I'll tell you where mine was. I just thought the group was going to go do their own things. Like I didn't think that Bone Thugs were a group anymore. I thought Bizzy's going to do his solo, Crazy's going to do a Lazy, maybe Wish and Flesh. And then, maybe every 10 years they would do a reunion thing, which is actually kind of how it played out. But as I read like what other Bone fans say, it's almost as if they didn't see it that way. And I could see how that leads to a lot of disappointment. I think I had realistic expectations throughout the whole thing, just reading the tea leaves. And I was okay with it too. I until I actually got the products. I thought it was going to be interesting to see how these guys would do as solo acts. And even Heaven's movie, I was just kind of like, the synergy with all the guys, it works a lot better than when it's just one guy. And I saw a comedian point out, he's like, hey, if your group is called Bone Thugs and Harmony, you can't just have one of the harmony. You need to have more than one to establish a harmony of sound, of singing.
I think in the perfect world, you have all five, right? Sure. In the perfect world, kids don't die of cancer. Bizzy Bone is around Bone Thugs and Harmony all the time. DMX never died. Puffy never raped any people. In the perfect world, but we're not there, right? And it's like we got to accept as fans that whatever it was isn't what it is, and was what it is that we right now, it's like I don't know why we're at a place where we think that Bone is what do you think the holdup is, right? Because people keep saying the holdup for the album is, well, they just make more money individually. But if that was true, then they wouldn't do shows as Bone Thugs and Harmony, right? So it's like, if they're making more money making individual solo music, but they make the most money doing shows, that doesn't make sense. So what is the holdup? And people often say the holdup is that there's a thought that it may not be successful without Bizzy Bone in the mix. I mean, I think that's like a thing that people think sometimes. But obviously, we saw Strength and Loyalty be very successful without him. So it's
all right. I'll pose this to you though: is an album with Bizzy going to be a much more successful album than an album without Bizzy
in like 2024? I think it's about the same. Like the fans they have are the fans that they have, and we're gonna check it out whether Bizzy Bone's on it or not.
Okay, and put it this way, I understand like your angle. I completely understand, and it's accurate. I mean, everything you're saying is observable, factual. But I also think Bizzy adds an extra element to just like Kermit Henderson saw. There's an extra element Bizzy provides to the group than if he's not there. But it's not to say that Bone can't operate just fine without him, because they demonstrated Strength and Loyalty, Thug Stories, Bone for Life. And I don't know why they haven't done a 4-member album with Flesh in the last 14 years. They had 14 years to do it, and it hasn't happened. The thing I was surprised about that I learned over this last year was seeing these Court Dog interviews where I didn't realize that Crazy and Lazy, had issues in the past. I don't know if they worked them out, but it was pretty surprising to hear both of them tell their sides of it. And that was pretty significant, especially like leading up to how Mo Thugs concluded, which was kind of a question that we kind of wanted to discover. I think through the Court Dog episodes, it kind of around the way, like if you read between the lines, you could kind of figure out what happened there along with the Felicia stuff. But yeah, it was just shocking to me to know that Lazy and Crazy had a fallout at a period of time there, and the reasons why. It's kind of surprising too.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is like I saw Il Mix say, you know, they got business issues, but the thing is that they got more than business issues, right? They got personal issues. Now it sounds like Crazy and Lazy took the time as men to solve whatever personal issues they had so that they could have a business relationship continue and they could continue to be in Bone Thugs and Harmony. It's very doubtful based on what we see on social media, what we've seen in backstage interviews, what we've seen when they have reunions, it's very doubtful that the work has been made to solve the personal issues between Bizzy and the rest of these guys. I mean, I would say mostly, you know, and we could be wrong, but I would say mostly Bizzy and Crazy. I mean, it's clear that they have had years and years and years of issues. In fact, that's why it was so like, holy shit, when New Waves happened, it was like, this is fucking almost out of nowhere, you know? Like, where the fuck did this come from? But again, there's a project that failed, and I told you guys, I remember a booking agent reaching out to our venue trying to get us to book that show, the New Wave show, and it was Crazy and Bizzy and a live band for the New Waves tour, and they were going to do the New Waves album, and then they were going to do Bone Thugs and Harmony songs as well, and we were interested, and it was like $25,000 fucking dollars for this, and the venue was very interested, and then Bizzy Bone pulled out all the shows, and that's why that tour never happened. So I seriously doubt that the personal issues between them have ever been worked out to the point that they can work together. The closest, again, and I bring this all the time, but the closest that I think we ever got was during that, you know, when they did the Wiz Khalifa song, when they did the A$AP Ferg song, like that era of Bone Thugs and Harmony right there. Bizzy was always wearing like the leather baseball cap. That's the closest I think we got to a real Bone Thugs and Harmony reunion was during that time frame, and it looked like we may get a group record, and then, you know, I think we're so far off now. Like, listen, if they didn't have music ready to go for the 30th anniversary, you know, this should be your fucking sign, you know, like. This is your sign,
especially when it seems like it's already recorded, right? As we don't know the inner, and we never found out really how the New Waves fell apart. I've always been curious to learn why New Waves fell apart. It was a great build up, great album. They had a potential movie to go with it that never came out, and then it was just like it just fell off a cliff, and it didn't have to. It was. It could have had a long run. There was
a mix of things there, right? You had that Sons of Sinclair, that issue never got worked out, and I think that was a vital piece of pushing that album. You had that the Bone fans completely rejected the idea of New Waves, and now, much like a lot of shit right now, people listen to New Waves and they go, it's not that bad. You had that Bizzy kind of pushed away from that situation. So I just think that it was a combination of things, and you know, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the Bone fans rejected it so hard. But I understand too. I've always said they shouldn't have called that group Bone Thugs. They should have called that group New Waves, and, you know, done something different.
Here's something also that I've made mention of in various ways. I might have a metaphor to bring it home. You know, Bone fans are always asking, you know, when's that Bone album coming out? And as I said, we get 4 albums a year. No other fan base gets 4 albums a year from their group. It's just that it's 4 individual solo albums. And the way I feel like these solo albums get treated is like back in the days when you were a kid and you get a birthday card and there's no money in it. And it's like, yo, what's this? This is not what I wanted. If you're going to give me a birthday card, put some paper in there. And it's kind of like you keep getting Bone solo albums, and everyone's like, oh, that's nice. Yeah. Where's the group album? But then they get a group album with Unifive, and people are like, it sucks. And then World War III, it sucks. I like the unreleased tracks. And that's something that actually I want to find out is maybe we'll do some kind of question of the day, but I kind of want it to be with the Bone fans, is that, you know, what would have your perfect Unifive track list be, being that we have the Unifive prequel and all these other, you know, unreleased albums, the special delivery, all that. So people always complain about how that Unifive came out. It's like, okay, what would have been the proper track list for Unifive to make it an acceptable album. I agree. There's some tracks that I would not have on that album.
Oh,
and
you're
some
saying
tracks
out of like all the cuts and everything, like what was the ultimate track list that made that a success?
Yeah. Like, and you could, I mean, if there's a couple of tracks, if there are a couple of tracks that you like on Unifive, you could keep them on there. But, I guess what I'm saying is people kind of act as if the stuff that didn't make the album was so amazing that it's like, why did it not make? Now, some of the songs are good. I think that if just The Game Ain't Ready made Unifive, I don't think people would be as pissed off, only because that was like the commercial song that was sold in all the hype promos. You think you're getting that track and then it's not on there and it's like, what the hell? I could be wrong, but that's what I'd like to know. I want to know what the perfect, because Unifive is really scrutinized, and I'd just like to know what it should have been.
If they would have just started it with the Eazy-E Ouija voice, everything would have been okay, dude. I'm telling you.
I think that the world ain't ready, the game ain't ready for that one. We needed more time for Bow Wow. I think John might have just cracked the code on our best video idea to come. I don't know if you guys know what a tier list is, or anyone in the chat that's into gaming at all, but like streamers love to put together tier lists. So we could go live with, like, if there is no tier list that we can use, we can make one. I'm sure it can't be that hard. And we could make with visuals, have all the songs and build one.
I like it. I like that. I love that.
That seems really on, like something that would get our creative juices bubbling, and to the point where we might have to throw a water bottle or two.
I just want to shout out to the people that have given us super chat. Shout out to our super chat. Shout out to everybody that's become part of the Skull and Crossroads Society. We never had somebody claim the I'm Busy autographed CD signed by Lil Bizzy and YBL Sinatra. So later on tonight, we will be spinning for the autographed copy of Bizzy Bone's I'm Busy, signed by YBL Sinatra and Lil Bizzy. To be part of that, all you need to do is be a member of the Skull and Crossroads Society. You can be an apprentice. To be an apprentice, all you got to do is join right here on our YouTube channel. It's $2.99 a month, and you can join that right on our screen, or you can go over to beyondtheharmony.com and click on apprentice, or you can join the big leagues. Go over to our Patreon, patreon.com/beyondtheharmony, and join our Patreon. Everybody's eligible, regardless of which they join, whether you're part of the YouTube or whether you're part of the Patreon. Hopefully you join both. There's benefits to being part of both, but we will be spinning later on tonight for all our Skull and Crossroads Society members. So shout out to everybody. You can tell who's part of the Skull and Crossroads here. They got the fancy little B by their name. So shout out to all of them. We will be spinning for that I'm Busy CD later tonight.
And you're reading my mind. I was just about to say that. The other thing I wanted to point out to you, Cecil, Legend from 81 said the thing that we've been waiting to find out if it ever happened. He said, I was in a strip club and I heard bottle service. So, all right, it finally happened. It finally happened. Bottle service got that love. Yes.
Where were you?
Yeah.
Legend from 81. Where were you? When was it when the CD was out and were like DJs getting it to spin, or was it last night?
I want to say that
right now,
and I've said it before, but I was on a copious amount of drugs once listening to Bottle Service, and it was the greatest song of the fucking night, dude. I was like, this is the whole vibe and a half. So, that's that. Hey, 733-570-6161 on Zoom. If you want to call in, talk some bone with us. Don't wait to the end of the night. It's going to be a quick episode tonight. We're trying to not run marathons anymore, so we're shooting for a 10 p.m. Eastern close down. So 733-570-6161. The passcode is Eazy-E tonight. Come talk some bone with us. Don't fuck around. Don't pull a Therese and wait until 9:50 and say, I'm calling in. This is your time to shine.
So let me wrap up the NWA
Yeah.
Ouija board
Bring us
story.
back to NWA. Bring us all the way
Yeah.
back.
Basically, I have 10 seconds of footage of NWA playing the Ouija board way back in 1991. I think it's pretty unique. The question I had proposed to you guys on behalf of like RC is does this bring into the whole Ouija? As we discovered, the artwork was a product of Donald Cunningham, Julio Costanzo, and Tyree Dillahay and others. Is the Ouija board a Bone product or is it an NWA product? And when I say product, obviously I know Busy says it's Milton Bradley, but or did they all click together because they were all Ouija fans?
Listen, it all clicks together, right? Like I don't think the Ouija shit is some shit that Easy pushed, because K Chill and all these guys confirmed, Graveyard Shift, they've all confirmed like, yeah, that Ouija board shit is real. I think that this Ouija board keeps connecting people inside of this dark industry. So you got NWA playing with it. You got Bone playing with it. Bone gets with NWA. You got Capone playing with it. Capone gets the Lazy Bone. Like, you got all these people playing with this creepy fucking Ouija board, and then they all end up together. And, Milton Bradley, Eazy-E, it's weird shit, man. It's weird. And great. And Sin was talking about how Graveyard Shift, like, they independently, they played with it as well. They fucked with the Ouija board. So
I remember kids in school in that era, and I'll get to pre-internet in a second, but it wasn't uncommon to hear kids be like, hey, my cousin had one and I was too scared to touch it on Saturday night, but I heard them in the other room doing it. And like I have vivid memory before I even knew what Bone Thugs and Harmony was. Like, I knew about it, and I knew my mom would have like slapped something, you know what I mean? Like, that would have been like, I would have caught on fire and combusted if I brought that up at home. So I knew it was bad. Like, I knew about it, but like it was, what was it? 1990, let's say. No one even knew what the word internet meant. There was nothing to do. You went outside and threw rocks. I mean, you looked for trouble. Like, that's how we learned how to be kids, or how to know what our limits were. And so if it was sitting there and there was a girl to impress, I would have played the Ouija board.
yeah.
Speaking of that, Cecil, I don't know if you know the story. I don't know if Albo is still in the chat, but back in the early days of Underground Dwellers, 808, myself, Papa Frito, I don't know if Albo was there, but we definitely, I almost feel like you've been to my house, but you haven't, the house back then. We did do a Ouija session, and it haunted that room forever after. Albo had to sleep in that room a couple of times on some big party sleepovers, but yeah, even UD pre LF, and maybe it was during Lyrical Fusion. I can't remember. One of the two. Albo, if you're out there, if you recall any Ouija stories, put them in the chat there.
I don't know what it is, right? But like, we did the Ouija board, right? And people said that I just made too much of a joke out of it, and that's why it didn't work. But anytime, like, when I was a kid, we would go to these haunted, scary places, right? And like, I don't know if I just got like that bold fucking spirit or what, but I'm just like, yo, this shit ain't scary. Like, fuck a ghost. Fuck a bitch ass ghost. And I just kind of walk into like these scary places like that, And like, I've had other people that tell me how they can sense fucking ghosts and spirits and all this shit, and they've told me, they're like, yeah, spirits leave the room when you come into it, and that's why you're not affected by this. Like, spirits leave the room when you enter. And I'm like, yeah, all right, Ghostbuster, whatever the fuck you say, And that's why you've seen, John, some of these music videos in these fucking places that we've been, and people think that we're always safe because I go and the spirits leave the room, and the Ouija board, you've seen video of us playing with it, and I'm like, yeah, all right, Milton Bradley, like, it's nothing to me. So when other people are like, yo, that fucking Ouija board, it cursed the room, I'm like, okay, buddy.
That's awesome. You're the Peter Venkman of the of the thing. Well, a side question I have for you guys. Now, this is some super duper like Star Trek level dork stuff. Over this past week, I saw the Look Into My Eyes music video and the See Me Shine music video. And I noticed both of these videos have Crazy Bone not rapping at the camera. It's like a profile of him. Okay. So in Look Into My Eyes, he's on top of this building, looks like Las Vegas or something. And you know, it's him and the group. They're rapping out into like a sea of nothing. And you know, you don't see a crowd. You wonder like, what the hell? What are they doing? They're on the top of this thing, just rapping out there. And I'm like, is there footage of a camera that like filmed them forward? Like I'd like to see what they look like in front and see the rest of the nice thing that they were standing on. And then in See Me Shine, the majority of his verse is like he's rapping like this. Imagine if I did the whole podcast like this. And so I'm watching this video thinking, who thought this was the right idea? When filming, you could have a profile shot once. Okay. It's kind of like having an establishing shot, but then, you know, at some point bring it to the front. So I don't know if it ever troubled you guys when you saw those videos, but those two shots and the one in Look Into My Eyes, when he's on top of when him and Lazy and Wish are on top of the, whatever they're on, that's cool. Show it far away, but get a close up too. What the heck? So I wonder if there's footage out there that just didn't make the cutting board in the final cut. And I just wonder if anybody else wondered those things as well for those two videos, and all Star Trek nerded out. And you could say, nah, man, I don't look at those videos like that.
I wish I had that much attention to detail as you do, John. I just think it's rock and roll, and I don't think too much of it. I think Crazy Bone doesn't like looking at the camera. I think a lot of us don't, probably. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't think he ever wanted to be the center of attention. Like, fuck fame, right?
Well, no, I mean, all of them really want to. And I know Cecil's probably thinking, like, hey, John, weren't you complaining that they were looking in the camera too much on Meet Me in the Sky?
Yeah, it was uncomfortable.
Yeah. No, I'm not asking for the, like, be a camera, you know, this close to Crazy Bone's head. Okay. I'm saying, you know, there's extra shots, especially, you know, in that era. That was the era when the music videos were professional music videos, and every shot was like 50, you know.
Listen, Sonya, Bone says shit all the time. That doesn't make it real, right? Listen, I believe, based on our interviews, that there is a giant piece of the evil shit about Bone that is label created. Okay, I 100% believe that. Eazy-E was way into the Ouija board shit. The Eazy-E demon voice existed before Bone Thugs and Harmony. All that shit. However, Bone even tells you that they did this creepy shit before they ever met Eazy. And based on our interviews, other people, Bobby Jones, yo, if you guys haven't listened to the Bobby Jones interview, go listen to the Bobby Jones interview, right? Like that's all you really got to hear to know that there's some really weird spiritual shit happening around Bone. There's some weird shit there. And I'll say this too. And I try not to believe that people are cursed and shit like that. But if you look at the amount of people that die around Bone Thugs and Harmony, it is catastrophic. It's wild. And they almost tell you what's going to happen in the Crossroads video, right? Like I think of like Eminem in the Toy Soldiers video, and Proof gets shot up and killed in that video, and later on he really does, and I'm like, that must be a horrible, like Eminem must regret that music video every time he hears that fucking song. Meanwhile, in that Crossroads video, if I was fucking Ken Dog or you know, fucking who else got eaten up? Tony Tone, Boogie Nike in that Crossroads video, I'd be like, yo, we lucky we fucking alive. Look at everybody that dies around us. They had us dying in this fucking music video in 95. Like, we're lucky we're alive. But a lot of people around them pass away, and you may just say, hey, that's life. It's this, it's that, it's whatever. But I mean, it's crazy the numbers, you know. So it's like I try not to believe in cursed people or cursed situations. I try not to get too far into the you know, like the fucking Illuminati-esque shit about rappers, but there's something eerie about Bone. I don't think that can be not, you know, who could deny that? There's something eerie there.
Yeah, yeah. If you, I remember Bone fans got mad. I was like, "Yo, if you do a feature, if you're a famous artist and you do a feature with Bone, you better have life insurance." So, but yeah, the yeah. Along those lines, there was an unsettled lyric dispute in the Discord a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if you and Matt are going to solve this one here, but I'll pose it to a larger audience. Is on Body Rot. Crazy Bones line when he said, "You also got the clone styles and no motif." The word motif. Did he say motif like MOTIF or moti MO-T mo thug? Maybe, I don't know. What is he saying there? And if he says motif, is that a word that we accept as part of Crazy Bones vocabulary? I've never said the word motif. I've never even heard a rapper say the word motif in a rap song. So, okay, so moti as a mo thug. All right. Joseph Tech solves the riddle. Moti, mo thug. Cool. Good. It's been in my mind ever since it brought up. Oh, quick thing. This is a side thing. I didn't get the crypto thing fully fixed for the Phantom wallet, but if you have an Exodus wallet, I've got tons of crypto I'm out to give away. So if you have an Exodus wallet, I'd say post your address here, but yeah, go ahead, post your address. I'll copy it and put it in a notepad, and I'll send you some Beyond the Harmony cryptocurrency. It'll display in the Exodus wallet. In the Phantom wallet, it displays unknown coin because the GitHub got archived that I based the whole thing on. So anyway, if you wanted some free BTH and you got a Solana wallet address, paste it, and I'll send some out to you.
John, I specifically remember that being one of the first lyrics I ever wanted to look up or know the answer to. Like, I don't know why it stuck out so much, because it's just such an odd way. Like, I never thought it was motif.
How did you interpret it?
T-E-E?
Motif?
I didn't know.
More
right?
T? Like,
I mean, like,
yeah.
I'm sitting in the back of AP English, like, this guy didn't say motif. What's going on here? Right? And so, like, what is he talking about? So I remember, like, searching, like, on, like, what would have been Netscape?
Damn.
Yeah.
Web browser, was that what it would have been? Or, like, maybe back when I had CompuServe or AOL?
Yeah. Netscape and IE.
Like, paying by the hour.
Yeah.
And and I remember it just seeing it say Mo, the letter T, but honestly, I didn't even really connect that to Mo Thugs at the time, but I think I was also pretty low on the Mo Thug fan radar too, though.
Well, Andy's keeping the debate alive. He's not agreeing with the motif making sense. I think he thinks motif would make sense. If it is motif, it then brings in the question.
I've always thought
of
it was motif, and Crazy Bone is a very intelligent guy, so him using a word like motif to act like that wouldn't be in his vocabulary. I mean, you know.
Well, okay. To not, I guess the way I said it was wrong, and you know, before the show, I was saying you're excellent with specificity of language. Is motif something that Bone Thugs and Harmony on a song called Body Rot? Would they be saying like?
That's what I'm trying to say. Is
you got no clone style and no motif?
Like, every other word is a slang word, so like he's like, that's not on brand.
Oh, I got a Solana address. I'm gonna send you some Solana. Strange. Well, my vision's going, bro. Ever since I got glasses,
he was the one that I told
now.
you. I'm pretty sure it's like Strangulation, like the fucking strange music cipher. I hope he's a big Tech 9 fan. I see we got a caller. I'm gonna let you in, caller. I want to just say though, real quick, before I do that, who was it that asked? Legends from 81 said, are there no other rappers that like talk about the Ouija board like that or whatever, like played with the Ouija board? And when you look it up, I'll tell you, like when you search like rappers who played with the Ouija board, it's just all Bone Thugs-n-Harmony shit. It's crazy. It's crazy. What's wild is how associated they are with the Ouija board. We got a caller. I'm going to let him in. 733-570-6161. The passcode is Easy E. Call in. Talk to us. We got about an hour left on the show, so let's all call in. Let's talk a little bit on Zoom. 733-570-6161. Easy E is the passcode tonight. We also got a super chat, very low tonight. Super chat goal of $100. We're at about $12 right now, so we would appreciate if everybody wants to contribute to tonight's super chat goal. Let's bring our caller in, see what it do. Oh, yeah, and don't forget, join that Skull and Crossroads Society if you haven't yet, because we're going to be spinning for that signed copy of I'm Busy, signed by Lil Busy and YBL Sinatra. Probably about 45 minutes. So,
well, I'm glad to see the motif discussion is carrying on in the chat. And where I was going with it was, that was the first like slowed down track, and I just wondered if it was like a Ruthless Written kind of thing. And it's not to take anything away from Crazy Bone, by the way. I'm actually a person that's in favor of ghostwriters periodically, not all the time, but periodically. I'm not like against it. I actually liked the Puff Daddy line when he said, "Don't worry if I write the rhymes, I write the checks." It doesn't hit as well anymore now that Puffy ruined it, but at the time, that was a cool line. Did we bring anybody in there?
Trying. So he's joining. I don't know if it's working. So
I think when everyone starts to get all riled up about that, it really doesn't matter because, like, how I always say it's just entertainment. It's not. It's their job. Like, they're entertainers. It's not like, yeah, they probably used to do that stuff, but they haven't done it in a long time.
Yeah.
So, like, one of my favorite songs for a long time, I don't remember the name right now, but it was, I think it was on Puffy's, like, his main album with Twista, and, like, he kind of rapped like Twista, and Genuine sung the chorus.
Mm.
You remember that one?
Yeah.
Like, obviously he didn't write that, or, like, Twista told him how to rap, but anyway, does that, you know what I'm talking about? And then there was a part 2 later.
Well, and does anybody not like Dr. Dre's verses on Forgot About Dre? Everybody knows he didn't write it, but it's awesome still, right? So
it said whoever's trying to call in, it said that you maybe you weren't getting in, you dropped out, so call back in. I'm reading the definition of motif, and I gotta tell you, I mean, it feels like some Crazy Bone shit,
Really?
Like. A distinctive feature or dominant idea in an artistic or a literal composition. I mean, this is Crazy Bone shit. He's talking about people biting their style. Like he's, the
only time I ever remembered even learning the word motif in school, somebody had to use it in a sentence, and Albo out there, he might remember Dave. Dave said, "Yeah, this guy was flossing." That his grill was better than mine, so I punched him in the mouth, knocked out one of his teeth, and said, "Now I got more teeth than you." Ooh. And it was like, yo, I can't believe this dude just said this in class, but okay. And that's the only time I ever heard it in school. So I don't know. I did that. That made motif. The teacher was mad, but I was like, I'll never forget this word the rest of my life because this dude just used it incorrectly.
It's a crazy life. He sees these bone motherfuckers all the time, bro. He hangs out with them like they're cousins. He's like, I'll just ask next time I'm with him.
Nice. There you go. Hey, by the way, we got a super chat from Byron Malk, $5. He says, I watched a video of DJ Unique recording Everyday Thing in the studio with an engineer, white guy, long hair. Do we know who that was? I can't find the info.
I don't know who that was, but I'm gonna assume it's one of these guys. David, what's his name? David Rain or David Banton or what? I don't think it's him specifically, but they always had those white guys around them. Okay.
Well, how you might find the answer, Byron, is in the interview, I think it's Unique is talking with Lobel. It might have been with another guy, but Unique was talking about when Tupac came in to record, and he was talking about how he went to get what they called artillery shop at the time, which became the beat for Thug Love. But he mentions names on the guys he has, like, hey, so and so. He actually says the guy's name. Bring me the one from the vault. And so maybe that's a name to look up, and maybe one because he mentioned at least two names
Oh,
in that particular clip.
looks like we got somebody in here, but your mic's not on. You're gonna have to you gotta enable your mic. Oh, I can see you. We just can't hear you yet, bro. Oh, let's see. Maybe if I sometimes I can push through and ask him to unmute, and it fixes it for him. RC, as a kid, I thought he said no more teeth. There you go, John. Look at RC's comment. That
Yeah.
lines up with your life.
No more.
Hello,
Nice.
hello.
Hey, there he is. What's happening?
Hey,
Yeah, Florida, Gainesville, Florida.
What's
I talked to
happening,
you guys
bro?
one time before.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember you. I remember you.
yeah.
Yeah,
How you
one
doing,
of
man?
y'all from Florida down south. Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. What you got for us tonight?
Um, so the question that I had for the longest is on shots to the double Glock. Who was the guy after Crazy's verse? He would go the first degree murderer, grave digger.
I got the whole order.
Yeah,
Man,
so but it don't say who's in. I don't know who that is because whoever rapped that verse was killing it.
let's see. I assume that's hold on, I got the order somewhere for you. The absolute order. We know the last guy is 101.
Right. Okay.
The last guy is 101 from the graveyard shift. I think it's fucking I think it's D-Lo, but I'll look it up for you.
But he's never rapped anywhere else, right?
Nah, D-Lo and 101, that was both of their only appearances with Poetic Hustlers and with
Okay.
Graveyard Shift and with Bone.
Okay.
So I think it's probably, who else was on that? Mohart isn't on it. Gates isn't on it. Let's see.
I know we've covered it at one point somewhere, but I
we-
think it was in
Twice.
the middle of a 4-hour live.
Who is on shots with double
Well,
Glock?
we have a Monday about it and a short.
Yeah, but
But it doesn't
when they
specify
listed it,
who's
right?
who.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
was the order, right?
So RC is saying it's Tombstone on shots. RC,
Who is on shots with double
of course,
Glock?
RC knew the graveyard shift. Yeah, first degree murder. Yeah, that's Tombstone. Now that I think about it, absolutely. How did we not even? Absolutely, Tombstone. Tombstone from graveyard shift.
Okay. Is that the verse behind Crazies? After Crazies?
Hold on. Say you're asking to wait. Say again.
Is that the verse right after Crazies verse?
I think it
I
is.
think-
Yes.
Maybe I can look it up right quick.
Yeah. I'm looking it up now too. See the double Glock. It's a good question though.
Yeah, I'm looking for them on Monday, John.
Okay. I'm just going
Yeah.
to. Yeah. Even Lyrics Genius has it credited to Tombstone So and it's right after Wishbone though, according to this. So
No,
Wishbone.
okay, that's the wrong verse. Sorry.
Okay.
It's the verse right after Crazies.
Okay.
So that's the wrong verse.
So Lyrics Genius says Mo Hart, nothing but them killers, straight up thugsters, ripping
Yeah,
bucks.
that's him. Yeah,
Okay.
that's him. That's it.
Wait a minute,
Bluegrass, I learned.
but Mo Hart though, didn't Mo Hart say he wasn't on it?
He's not on it. That's just people that's been like people thinking that they knew who was on it. Gates has been credited as being on it, right? And Gates wasn't even around yet. But again, this was people trying to guess who's on this fucking song based on what they knew, and what they knew was Poetic Hustlers was Mo Hart, Tony Tone, and Boogie Nike. People didn't find out till later on like D-Lo was a guy or 101 was a guy.
Oh, okay.
So
So we kind of don't know who that was.
no, I got the order somewhere, but
No, Cecil figured it out at one point. Like that was.
Okay. I remember y'all had a episode about this.
Yeah.
I just put it in the chat. If you guys haven't watched it, it's really good. But I don't remember if that's the one where it tells the order.
Yeah. I don't think anybody said specifically. Well, let's see. D-Lo is the never get in the mix of the Claire player. That's D-Lo. And the last verse is 101.
Right. Okay.
So who the fuck else is left on it?
So, bro, it still is a mystery. We thought this was solved a long time ago.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, I've seen that episode, but it never was clear
Yeah.
who wrote that verse. Okay.
Man.
On that verse.
I mean, it would make sense that it was Mohart, but Mohart said he wasn't on it. That's even wilder. Yeah. Dang. Then who could it be? Would it be maybe one of the guys from Aftermath? Maybe.
No.
All the stuff.
We know everybody that's on it, bro. Come on. Look, the first verse is Tony Tone. Then it's Wish, right?
Okay. Okay.
The first degree murder verse is Tombstone. And then who goes after that? Flesh. Pump, 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 let my shell down. Yeah, Flesh.
Yeah.
Crazy Bone.
All right. Now, who is this? Nothing but the killer.
Yeah.
Boogie's the thuggin' whatever. Then Lazy Bone. It's gotta be Sin, because look, they got this wrong. They got Sin as let's begin in the mix
like that.
Yeah, but
that doesn't sound like Sin.
That's not it's not Sin doing the let's begin in the mix of the Claire player. That's D-Lo. And then it's got to be Sin. It's 100% Sin. There's no way that it's not Sin. It's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be Sin, because think about it, right? You got Tony Tone first, we know that. Wishbone second, we know that. Tombstone third, we know that. Flesh and Bone, we know that. Crazy Bone. The shit has Mo Hart as the next one, right? That's the one you're asking about. Nothing but them killers, straight up thugs, right?
Yes.
We know Boogie's after that. Lazy's after that. We got it confirmed from Tony Tone that D-Lo is who's never getting the mix of a Claire player. And then the last verse is 101. So it's got to be Sin. There you go. John ain't going to tell me no mystery not fucking solved by me. God damn it.
But does that sound like Sin?
Well, I mean,
that's what I thought that too. Does that sound like Sin?
Well, I will say this, like they meaning Graveyard Shift. If you listen to them, even like, I don't even think like they sound like them. If you listen to them on Family Scriptures versus you listen to Stillwaters, I mean, their style changed a lot there as well. So I think that they were kind of figuring out their style over the course of, that 2-year period. I think that Sin later on kind of leaned harder into that darker Graveyard Shift persona than when they first, went out to California during this shit.
Why don't we listen to the track, like us with the audience, and we could determine whether or not it's Sin or not? I mean, I'm not sold on it being Sin. I know what you're saying, that voices change and the Graveyard Shift style changed from the
Jonathan
to the Stillwaters.
Are you understanding how many people are on the song and how we know who they all fucking are? And that's the only one left in question, and Sin is the only one not connected to a verse?
I agree with you. And I agree that it makes sense that it is Sin, but it doesn't sound like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Andy in the chat's not buying it. I'm not sure Larada is.
Buy it. Sin is who told us the story.
I don't know if Gainesville, are you satisfied with that? Are you satisfied that that's Sin? I'm not.
I'm not really satisfied, but I don't have any other option to but. You know what I'm saying?
Good point. Yeah.
You might kick me out. You might kick me off the line.
Listen, there's only so many verses and so many people to put to them verses, right?
So Andy's sticking by that it's Mo Hart.
It is not Mo Hart, Andy.
I don't think it's Mo Hart.
Smoking crack cocaine. Mo Hart wasn't in the fucking group yet. He was in jail.
Yeah, Mo Hart did confirm that he's not on the track in one of our episodes.
Andy is wild. I haven't seen Andy in 3 weeks, and he became a drug addict. Like, Andy is out of his mind.
Okay, so now wait a minute. All right, to the audience, is it sin? Well, what do you guys think? Process of elimination via what Cecil's saying, it makes sense. It's got to be sin, but when you hear that verse, does that sound like sin?
Sounds like another tier list video coming.
Check this out. Who's the first verse, y'all? Who starts the song?
Is that D-Lo?
No.
Oh, Tony Tone. My bad. Tony Tone.
Tony Tone start. In fact, look, I think I can do it. Hold on. Watch me, Cecil West. The mix of the Claire player is D-Lo, and Tony Tone told us. Tony Tone, a poetic hustler, told us. Motherfuckers be this is why I can't stand people. It's like it don't matter. They gonna be like, that's not what Bone Thugs and Harmony said.
Oh, but here's the thing. C-Dubs. The only thing out of character for you here is that we need verification. I agree. Process of elimination. Gotta be.
They told you everybody that's on it. Listen, it's 4 members of Bone Thugs and Harmony, right? 4 members of Bone Thugs and Harmony. It is 3 members of the Graveyard Shift. Who are those 3 fucking members? We know who the fuck they are. They were 101, who was out of the group after this, Sin and Tombstone. And then there were 3 members. Who else could it have been? Boogie? Is it Boogie Nike? Is Boogie on the song?
Boogie's right after that. Boogie's verse comes in right after that verse, which makes kind of sense why it might be.
It's got to be Sin. You guys are fucking killing me right now. Ah!
No, but this is the we thought. See, this is. I'm glad this got brought up, Gainesville. I love the question, bro. This is excellent.
Great job, Cecil.
So hold on, let me paste it here for RC.
Cecil had to mute himself, but don't forget to super chat if you like the content.
Hold on, I'm trying to paste it, and it's like I guess I have too many characters.
What you mean? How the fuck's that sin?
Hey, I got another. Which one of y'all was going hard at Bizzy?
Me. That's me.
That's all Cecil.
Yes, I believe that's 100% deserved that you went in like that, because sometimes I do feel a certain kind of way about him sometimes.
Dude, I love that guy. I love his music. It means a lot to me. I think sometimes people think I hate that guy, or it ain't that.
Right.
It's that I want to see the group flourish, and we as fans are holding on to this thing that's it's killing us.
I agree too.
Yo, the universe just saved my ass, bro. I just copied and pasted the whole verse into the thing, and wondering why I wouldn't paste. I might have been dropping some N-bombs in there, man. I'm so glad the thing cut me off. So, all right, good. But hey, RC, if you're out there, I pasted the lyrics in question. It's nothing but them killers. So hopefully RC's got it.
It's Mo Hart. That's all I'm going to say. Andy, are you understanding that Mo Hart was in fucking jail and he wasn't even a member of the motherfucking Poetic Hustlers yet? He wasn't even a member yet. He wasn't even a member. D-Lo was a member. What do you mean? He's like, remember I said it was Mo Hart. Remember whatever the fuck you want, dog. It couldn't have been Mo Hart. He was sitting in jail. He was eating fucking Saturday morning motherfucking scrambled eggs and bullshit. Like, that's it.
What was the busy question though? Like I always try to make sure I cape for cape in the good way. Okay.
Hold on. We fixing to not fuck around right now. Hold on. I got y'all.
Reaching out to his lifeline, I hope.
No.
Okay, so, hey, Andy's sticking by it, man. He still thinks it's Mo Hart. The funny part is, like,
Andy, I will bet you $1 million here live that it is not Mo Hart. I will bet you whatever the fuck you want. I will bet you the house you live in and the car you fucking drive.
Yeah, like Andy, I don't know if Mohart is the one you want to hitch your saddle to. I mean, I know Lyrics Genius says it,
Oh,
and a bunch of
you're
other.
going off lyric genius. If we could just trust everything on the fucking internet, wouldn't that be great? All right. Can y'all hear this?
Oh,
Let's go. Let's go. Who's this?
Tony Tone.
Tony Tone. Okay. Who's this?
That sounds like Wishbone.
That sounds like Wishbone, right? Okay. Let's keep going.
Split a grave digger, don't test my hood. A first degree murdering wig, split a grave digger, digging a ditch.
Do we know who this is?
Tombstone.
Are we all happy in the chat that this is Tombstone?
It's Tombstone.
Niggas beware, cause they're gonna clear mobbing like some soldiers. Watch me off we go to the bloody road. Time to bless some souls with that 9 shot. Wanna let my shell down.
Who's this?
Now give me the goodies and nigga me down.
Flesh.
With a gauge in man. Shell up one of these blast. Nigga don't test nut your lucks. Fuck.
Okay.
Coming up, pulling the clear. Crazy, lazy, busy, flesh with them wicked. Now we straight up the Glock.
Crazy Bone.
Jesus, maybe it's Mo Hart. I don't know. I'm gonna say it's Crazy Bone. All right, we got this little.
Nothing but them killers, straight up thuggers, ripping bucks of blood and clusters, gauging pump eruptions, nickel tripping, shutting fuckers down.
This is who we're questioning, right?
It does kind of sound like Sin now.
Okay, hold on though. Let's just leave this one blank.
Your body rupture, hunt my victims on the mission, flipping, living on the darker side, creeping on your homicide. Let my nuts and my gates hang low, now walk on by. Through my thuggish ass hooded night.
Who's this?
My pipe thugging down
Boogie.
the double Glock, trying to get my servo. Watching my back while 6'5" try to roll low. But one beat my creep in. The hood, we belly, we thuggin', we looking like crew.
Maybe this is Mo Hart. It's not, it's Lazy Bone.
It's a soldiers get a nigga, don't take the wrong time. You will enter the hood or spit it. Cover your down out of cuts with the thugs and hustlers wrong. Cleveland Browns, you dog pop on the
Tony Tone told us this is D-Lo. Tony fucking Tone said this is the other guy that was in my group before Mo Hart. Before Mo Hart. D-Lo. This guy. This is 101.
So where you at? I'm strapped and ready to snap and yank.
And 101 told us all about it. He's got a drop here because he said he couldn't stay on beat. And that's why he's got this drop.
You still want some bitch and what the motherfucker I wanna whammy me with a Tech 9. Now bitch press your luck.
That's the end of the song. That's the end of the verses.
Hey, Cecil, though, that last verse, though, Lyrics Genius says that was Gates, not 101.
Yeah. Gates wasn't a thing yet. Hold on, though. Hold on, because I am now in full annihilation mode of Andy, who I loved until 2 minutes ago. And I am just going to reach out to Sin directly.
Are we sure that's not Gates, though? And not for the 101 part, but, basically it's between Sin and Gates.
It's not.
Right?
It's not Gates, guy. It's not. Andy, I want the title to your car, Andy. Get ready to give me that shit.
Poor Gainesville came in peace. He just had a simple question.
No. It's
Yeah,
cool.
so
Gainesville just got
let's
me.
go back to the
car.
original question while he roasts Andy to death and contacts Sin personally. Which verse was it you were asking? Did we answer your question though? Or did we miss your question completely?
Oh, you got it right.
Shit.
Bro, dog, I'm so glad this was asked, bro. All right, so M Bone says it's confirmed federal line. That is Sin, but I never guessed it until now, says THZA. It's obviously Kevin Federline. I just listened to Tony Tone on Monday. It's D-Lo. No, RC, don't get on Cecil's bad side, bro. Don't say it's D-Lo. It's not D-Lo. D-Lo is the part that's credited to Gates on
Boogie Night told us who D-Lo was. Never
Word
get
of
in the
Sin.
mix of a clear play. Do I got to play the fucking video? Like, you know?
Yeah, dog. Lyrics Genius has it so wrong. So that the D-Lo verse is credited to Sin. The 101 verse is credited to Gates. The Mo Hart or the mystery verse, I guess, Sin is credited to Mo Hart. So this has been passed down for 30 years. This incorrect info. And that's why you had to make multiple videos about this, Cecil. And it's still not satisfied. and to Gainesville's credit, I mean, he had the right question. He wasn't asking about the Claire player. He was asking about this other one that's just slipped by our
I
mind.
just had to look at them all to know the fucking order, because it's like we figured out the unknown ones, and you know all the other ones. Don't worry. I just messaged Sin. Andy's about to write over whatever Ford Fiat he fucking drives to me. It's mine. His house is mine. I want his dog, all that shit. The god of this bone shit is here. If Andy's right, he gets to be the new host of Beyond the Harmony every Thursday. Welcome to this madness.
Well, hey, he's modified his statement.
Oh, no. Don't start modifying and not being sure about Mo Hart. And you don't think it's Sid, you fucking die on the hill.
Well, okay, while we're waiting on Sin, Gainesville had now the question with Bizzy. Were you asking Cecil like why you so hard on Bizzy, or I tried to balance it out?
I was really agreeing with him, because Bizzy can be flaky sometimes, and we all can see it. But we want him to do better, but we all can see it, and we can tell that Crazy is frustrated. And you can see Lazy is trying to play like the PR type, like he posted a video on Instagram about, I forgot what it was about, but it was kind of like a PR that we all together. But sometimes Bizzy seems flaky sometimes, and sometimes it's always that one person, and when you have a group of people, it seems like sometimes it's always that one person that's,
yeah.
Even though I do like Bizzy, and watching our verses, also wait, hold on, you might not know where I'm going. Watching our verses shows me how much Bizzy is needed.
Okay, elaborate.
Yeah, because like certain songs, he is just a killer. Like Thug Love and
Body Rot,
Body Rot, and also Notorious Stuff. Like,
yeah,
I felt like in the verses he set them apart. Set the group apart from the 3 6 Mafia. But I know they can do well without him, but I can see how much he is needed.
Yeah, well, he's the part of the harmony, the high pitch. You got to have that in there.
Yes,
without it's lacking.
Yes, and he got that rapid. He's a top tier rapper, and he stays on beat, on synchronized. His cadence is like unmatched. He a man crazy. So, but Bizzy's cadence on certain songs is just like out of this world. Like he hits cadences that aren't duplicated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
no, totally agreed. Quick one here, Cecil, to fire you back up. Uriel Heaven's Guardian says
I do want to say Joe Cal 84 dropped a $100 super chat on us. So shout out to our man Joe Cal, who always supporting the show.
All praises due.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not Gates, buddy. Stop reading fucking Lyric Genius that doesn't know shit. It's not fucking Gates. Gates didn't even get considered for the group until later on. Gates is a later on guy.
Hey man, remind me how to pronounce your name. I feel like I asked you that last time, but I don't remember. Can you tell me how to pronounce your name?
Mine?
Yeah, yeah.
LaRod.
LaRod, sorry. Okay.
I remember
So-
us doing this now. Yes.
Yeah, I think I said the same thing to you last time. So, what you said about how Bizzy's unmatched or he hits certain, like, I call it a melody. I don't really, I'm not an artist or musician in any way, shape, or form, but when people try to ask me why I'm so fascinated or why I carry a torch for 30 years or because and we say, well, there's nothing really like it, but the example I use is I say that some of the members hit these rhythms or melodies while they're rapping that no one else has ever done or done the way with the ability or skill or talent that they have. So like if you needed to talk to like a non-rap fan or like I'll meet somebody and they're like you do what? You listen to what? Why? And so and I'll just say there's nothing else quite like it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, just to be clear, like I don't disagree how necessary he is to the Bone sound. Like I definitely do, It's just a point comes where it's like necessary or not. Do we just negate ever having another Bone Thugs and Harmony album because we can't get him to come sing the high parts, or do we just say fuck it and we make an album? Like for us to act like you can't have a Bone album without him is wild, right? Because Strength and Loyalty was a great record, and if Flesh wouldn't have been in jail, we would have had Flesh on Strength and Loyalty and made it even a better record. It's like it is possible without him. Of course, it's better with him, but it's like do we just not do it without him? I think that we're just at that point where it's like it would be great if he was there. I don't ever see. I mean, I literally don't ever see it happening. I've had affiliates around us say it's not going to happen. I just don't see it happening. In fact, I'm not going to say who, but I had an affiliate close to the situation say, "You are never getting a Bone Thugs and Harmony album again. That they can't. Any of them can get on the same page to do it."
But yeah, for one thing, like they're grown men. They're like. So I'm 43. So, but they're like 50, low 50s, right? And they got grandkids, they got kids, they got businesses. It's hard to get 5 people. And don't Busy got a little 4-year-old now or a 5-year-old? So it's hard to get somebody with people with men with so many families together to get to see your family, to get on the road.
But they all tour together though. Like the other 4 all tour together all the time. Like if they didn't tour together all the time, I would agree with that. But they are all together all the time. So it's like, what's the hold up? Again, unless the thing that people say, which is, and who knows how true this is, but do they feel like they can't do a record without him? Like, do they?
Well, I don't think it's them. I think, you hear the story about the reason the Dr. Dre album didn't happen was, I mean, this is the rumor, the legend that Dre said, if you give me all 5, we could do it. But unless it's all 5, I'm not doing it. And I think a couple other scenarios, that was the case. Well, I don't know if that's the case anymore, but that's what I heard in the past.
I mean, I could see like a major label, and maybe that's what they're saying. We don't want to do it without a major label, right? Because it's like, I can see why they wouldn't just want to release it themselves, without the label. They're from the 90s. They believe in the machine, and to a certain degree, the machine and a label is still important, especially if you're like an act from back in the day. They don't have like the viral sensation shit that young kids have, right? So it's like they may be an example where a label is still important, and if a label won't play ball unless Bizzy's involved, it's kind of funny because I think I remember it being Swiss Beats wouldn't play ball if Bizzy Bone was involved. So it's pretty funny now that they won't do it. back when they did Strength and Loyalty. Now, like, this brings us back to Versus, right? I didn't want Bizzy there because I felt like we just let Bizzy show up whenever the fuck he wants, and he just gets to show up for the cool shit.
Yeah,
He doesn't have to be there when they're grinding out a show in somewhere Indiana. He just gets to show up for fucking Versus. But how would that have affected Versus? Right? I mean, it definitely better with him, no doubt about it. You know, imagine them doing Thug Love and Bizzy Bone didn't do that verse. I mean, it was important for him to be there, for sure. But it's like, man, the guy just keeps getting to show up to shit. And I thought it was so funny when Crazy Bone was like, "Don't nobody got to call you to tell you that we got a show, bro. I don't call and ask for permission. If I see Bone Thugs and Harmony, I just show. You could just show up, man." But I think that the other four members have a realistic grasp on what Bone Thugs and Harmony is worth in 2024, and I don't think Bizzy Bone does. I mean, I just think that they realize, like, this is what our brand is worth in 2024 at live shows, at you know, I think they just get it, and I don't think he does. I think that he thinks that they're worth a lot more money than they are, and deservingly they should be. But I think the other four are realistic, and they know this is what we get. We get about 20 to 25 grand a show, and that's what the fuck it is, and that's what we're going to get whether Bizzy Bone's here or not.
Yeah.
Well,
I agree with that. Yeah. Okay.
here's a retrospect question: is you know, the Bizzy creating the scene at Versus actually worked out? Meaning, you know, it created so much controversy.
It also destroyed the Versus brand. Like, Versus hasn't been the same since. Like, Bizzy went and fucked up a great thing. Like, Versus has been total dog shit. Versus was like the hottest commodity coming out of COVID, and it stayed hot for so long. And then the Bone Thugs and Harmony shit happened, and no one's given a fuck about Versus since. They were like, this is corny.
Wow.
So
yeah, and we never got that album, that DJ Paul album. But I guess it's still coming soon.
It's coming soon. Tell me lies. Tell me sweet little lies.
It's crazy. Like, it's crazy coming out with an album with DJ Paul still. Or
that's what they say. That's what they say.
CD2 is coming out, right?
Yeah, Chasing the Devil 2. Yeah, and the DJ Paul thing, I think DJ Paul himself said, like, it's still in the works and that it's still coming.
Oh, it's still in the works. Okay. I just thought it was coming out first.
I thought it was coming out 2 years ago, like right after the Verses. That would have been the perfect time to drop it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy, right? Because you got Lazy Bone, whose slogan is "It's all about perfect timing," but like the perfect timing for the DJ Paul Crazy Bone album was the night that Verses happened. Like, that night that shit should have came out, because people went to Spotify directly after. And that's, you know, that's when people are their hottest. When an artist does the Super Bowl, you know, their streams go up significantly. When they do Verses, their streams go up significantly. So it's like, why wouldn't you want a DJ Paul and a Crazy Bone album to come out the fucking night of Verses? It's just like, you know, they're still arguing over Sons of Sinclair and that shit, but it's like, even if it comes out now, who gives a fuck? What's it talking about? Some album from, when did New Waves come out, John?
Yeah, 2017.
Oh my God.
2016, 2017.
Oh my God. Like,
one of those 2 years.
Who even gives a fuck? Put that thing on Tubi and call it a day.
Yeah, no, all eyes were on that at that time. Big Bag got left on the table, but you know, we can't even blame just Bone for that. 3-6 Mafia, you know, DJ Paul could have got that album out too. So that was the perfect time to drop it. When it finally drops, I think yeah, after waiting 2 years, it's kind of like, hey, thanks guys, thanks. 2, 3, 4 years later.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what that holdup is? With the DJ Paul and Crazy Bone thing, I have no idea. You know, I feel like those two guys specifically, Paul and Crazy Bone, are just like lab rats. Like, they live in that studio. They turn out so much music. So what's the holdup there? Because I do feel like DJ Paul is like, I don't think Crazy Bone is as good as putting music out, but I feel like DJ Paul's great at it. So I don't know what the holdup there is for this long. I think that it's still going to make Bone fans and 3-6 Mafia fans happy when it happens, but it's not going to have what it would have had if they would have put it out the day of Versus or the day after Versus or whatever. They would have seen a significant, bump if they would have done that.
I just want to say I'm going to start making shorts of all the different times Crazy, Bizzy, Bone, all of them had their little beefs through interviews. I put a couple up. A couple people got upset, like, "Yo, why are you causing more drama?" And I'm genuinely putting it there for historical observation to like examine both sides. So if I put Crazy saying stuff like, "Oh, wait, this guy never shows up," I tried to also match it with Bizzy's response. So I'm trying to be objective about it. I'm not on anybody's side. I want the whole group at this stage of the game. I know in the past I've said I've been all crazy, but I've got enough Crazy Bone solo albums now. Now I have more Crazy solo albums, more Bizzy solo albums than Bone group albums. So we need to get that balance back in place. Some more group albums. But with all that said, I would take a 4-person album with Flesh and not Bizzy if that's what it takes to get an album.
Right.
Oh, nah. So Matt, did you find any Discord things in between yesterday and today that was noteworthy? One of the questions I had, and I always wondered this, I don't think I ever asked Cecil this, I don't think I ever asked Matt this, and I know I didn't ask Larod this, but do you remember when the Mo Thugs album, before it came out, what your thoughts were going into it, what your expectations were, before ever hearing it, before even hearing Thug Devotion, when you just saw the ad, the full page ad in the Source, what were your thoughts on it? Because I don't even know if I saw the interviews yet with the Bone members explaining it. Do you remember like what your initial thoughts were, like what you expected to get out of it?
Look, let me go for it. I never knew the album was coming out until I heard the Devotion, because like I was 16, I guess 16 at the time. So the only time I knew that music would be dropped is if it hit the radio. Then this was 96, and I live in Gainesville now, but I'm originally from Live Oak, Florida, which is a smaller town. So we would barely had any good radio stations. So the only way I knew music was coming out was through the radio. So that's my take.
Did when you heard it, did you think it was a Bone song, or was it presented as this is Mo Thugs? And if you didn't know,
actually, I saw the video first. I saw the video.
Okay.
And let me tell you, anything that had Bone Thugs on it, I just gravitated to it, and thought it was a Bone. And when you see Lady, so the rapper styles, I knew it was kind of affiliated with Bone. So, but I was excited to hear anything with Bone on it. So,
yeah. Well, and I mean, Soldier Boy's on it, and Ken Dog and Trey, obviously Crazy and Lazy. When you saw the new guys, were you kind of like, oh, cool? I mean, because I'm even myself trying to remember what I thought when I saw it. If I was confused, if I understood, if I don't remember my initial impressions anymore.
So Thug Devotion, I saw that, I guess, on Video Soul back then on BET. So just hearing their, like, going back to cadences, hearing Soldier Boy, and just hearing, I guess, Trey, the way they harmonize, I felt like it was kind of, I knew it was an affiliation with Bone. I knew it was like, it sounded similar. So I attributed it to Bone. So I enjoyed it. I play it with my kids today. So
Well, I'll say this and now I remember when that came out and then the whole album came out, suddenly shots to the double Glock meant a lot more. Like, did you go back to Eternal and
I,
re-listen to it and realize like, oh,
I didn't,
now it makes sense.
so I didn't get a CD player. So this was '96. I didn't have a CD player.
Ah,
So the only time I listened to Bone was over the radio because I didn't have a CD player, and I would record the music on a tape. You know, this is back in the day. I would record the music on a tape, and I have to play it whenever I hear it on the radio. So that's how I got the Crossroads. That's
mm,
how I got These Are the Days of My Lives. And around that time, Bone was really big, and I know y'all know that. So they had something called a hit list on BET, and they would play a lot of similar. Well, they would play a lot of Bone music. They would play like Days of the Lives. They were, I forget the other.
right. East 99,
First,
Good
yeah,
Love
first of the
Money.
month. Yeah, first of the month. They would play a lot of those songs because people request those songs. That's what I liked about the videos seen then in those days because people requested, and it wouldn't just be like a playlist of music that the records, I mean the big records would push out like they do these days now. So it would be actually like consumers were calling in songs, and those were the top songs at the time.
So we're the same age, LaRod. So tell me, I didn't have a CD player either. So I had it, and then I borrowed a Discman that had like
Yeah.
plastic, right? And so that's how I listened to Eternal, because I had the CD, but I had no way to play it. And then I bought when I could, then I bought Creeping on a Come Up. So how do you remember that day when like you were able to like sit down and listen to the album, or was it just because it was on at someone's
Yes.
house?
Oh, let me tell you, my aunt, I think she was getting a car. My dad used to work on cars, right? So my aunt had a Ford Escort, a little black Ford Escort with the seat belt would just start here, then it slide up, you know what I'm talking about? So she had one of those. But anyway, she had the Bone Thugs and Harmony CD in her car. She's from Jacksonville. So she had the Bone Thugs CD in her car. I took it out the car, and we finally got a CD player at this time. So I took it out the car, and I brought it in the house, and I listened to the whole album, and I was just amazed, listening to like Bud Smokers Only, Buddha Lovers, First of the Month, just hearing all those songs that not that I never knew existed, but it was my first time listening to Bone, the East 1999 album. So it was just, and then my parents, they wasn't too keen on me to, they had cursing in it. So it's not the kind of music they wanted me listening to. So I had to turn it down, and I remember listening to the music with the radio to my ear really low, but I was like jamming. I was so excited. But out of the music, the level, the volume level turned all the way down. So and I was doing this at night too. So I just remember that.
Yeah, I mean, like on No Surrender, they definitely dropped some big F-bombs. Luckily, like on Eternal, though, they're rapping so fast, I was able to get that one past a lot of the adults. Yeah, they couldn't keep up with what was being said. So that was one of the ones I could always keep in rotation on the speakers, just because it was indecipherable to the untrained ear kind of thing. But not No Surrender. But motherfuck y'all coppers. That was definitely said. Loud and clear. But yeah, that's great, man. I remember those times too. Sneaking headphones, listening to Under the Covers, and Yeah. Or you'd have like the earpiece in school, pretend like you're just like
Yeah.
Um, first, I just want to say that I won the pink slip to Andy's car. Second, second, I remember I was in a class and this kid named Josh walked in and he sits in front of this iMac, or I guess they weren't an iMac back. He sits in front of the Apple computer and he pulls out his CDs and I see the Bone Thug font from like a mile away, right? Mo Thugs. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like peering over his shoulder trying to, what the fuck is going on here? And featuring Bone, and like I'm trying to find out what this is without like acting like I don't know what this is, you know?
What city is it? What
Yeah,
city and
yeah.
state
So
is it?
I'm trying to
No,
like,
no, I'm asking, sorry, I'm cutting you off. What city and state is it?
this is up in the Northeast.
Okay, all right.
So I'm trying to, cause he obviously knows what the fuck this is. So I'm trying to act like I know without asking. So I'm like, oh shit, you know what's he's like, oh, this is Mo Thug. I'm like, oh, like Bone? He's like, nah, this is Mo Thugs, bro. And I'm like, oh yeah, Mo Thugs, like no doubt. Like, and I immediately went the fuck out and got that shit. Like the next day, I think I had my grandmother drive me in a fucking Cadillac to Sam Goody and pick that up. But that's how I found out that shit came out. So I never saw the video. I never saw any of that. Like this kid Josh just had it, and I seen it over the shoulder, and I saw the Bone Thug font, and I was like, "What the fuck is Mo Thugs?" Like I remember hearing it in the songs, you know what I mean? But it just didn't click when I saw like a CD with the same name. I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" Like featuring Bone at the bottom, like it was wild. And that's like how I first found out was this kid Josh, and I immediately went and picked the Mo Thugs album up.
Cecil, do you think that the use of the same similar use of the font on Mo Thugs that Bone had, did that play into your like graphic art design? Just because I remember distinctly thinking like, wow, how clever this was that the Mo Thugs logo resembled the Bone logo somewhat.
Well,
It's not identical.
I'll tell you this, like I wouldn't even have like look it. That's what like caught my eye, was that I saw the big Mo Thugs logo, from like the other side of the room or whatever. So that's what kind of caught my eye to look, because I didn't see the little featuring Bone at the fucking bottom or whatever. Like it was, featuring Eazy-E on Creeping on a Come Up. Like, I saw the Mo Thugs, and that's what caught me. I thought that shit was ultra smart. I'm big on branding, so I thought that was really smart for them to carry that over. That Bone Thugs logo is still iconic. They were smart to do it. What's funny is the Mo Thugs logo overall, it uses that old English look, right? But it's kind of boring. Like, what makes the Bone Thugs and Harmony logo so fucking good and the Mo Thugs logo just,
The pyramid with the fist. I mean,
yeah, but like, I'm saying like the font, like the Mo Thugs records, like.
Oh yeah, it feels like a kind of like a rip off of Bone is what you're saying. Like
it's not even. It's just that it's like, I'm like, look, Bone Thugs and Harmony's logo is just like a version of Old English, but there's something about it that's really good. Mo Thugs logo, same thing, but I'm just like, it's kind of boring,
kind of cheesy.
It's just, I don't know. I'm just like, there's nothing like, when you see, like, I was wearing a Beyond the Harmony hoodie last weekend, right? And somebody goes, oh, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like, you just know it. I don't know if it's the, maybe it's the arch, maybe it's the little shit under it. I don't know what it is, but it's like, there's nothing really memorable about the Mo Thug shit.
I think it's that it's not horizontal enough. Okay. It's like the Mo Thugs is too small and it's such a vertical kind of. I know the Death Row logo is kind of similar, but the Death Row thing was symmetrical in that it's like a rectangle, whereas that Mo Thug, it feels like it feels too narrow. Is that kind of what you're thinking?
I don't know.
So here's a great question. This is totally going to derail this, but
great.
In the comments or in the chat, Herman Sangera says, and I'm going to modify what he says to make it broader. Has Bone ever performed any songs from Faces of Death live, minus obviously The song that's on Strength and Loyalty doesn't count. Flow Motion doesn't count. But has Bone ever performed? He said Hell Sent, but I'm just saying, has Bone ever performed anything from Faces of Death live minus Flow Motion?
Like since they've been Bone Thugs and Harmony?
Yeah.
No, why would they?
Why not?
Why would they?
Well, they perform songs with other people that aren't on their albums, like Notorious Thugs.
Yeah, of course. But
Breakdown.
Are you telling me that
those are featured?
You can't see why you would do Breakdown or Notorious Thugs versus fucking Def Dick?
All right. Well, Hell Sent. So we'll go back to his because Hell Sent was like the standout track. He has Bone ever performed Hell Sent live? But I think your answer is the same. It's like the answer remains the same there, John. And yeah, you're right.
Well, past the Dutch, I would like to hear that.
Past the. Oh yeah. Hey,
what
okay.
we want to hear and following the money is two very different things.
So what if we rephrased it? Now that the Lucky Lou version is out, maybe they can perform a Faces of Death track live using the Lucky Lou version.
Okay, I've said this before. Imagine being a grown-ass man and someone shows you something you made when you were 16. You would vomit in your mouth.
Yeah.
If I had to look at how Matthew was behaving.
Yeah,
I was 16.
Okay, to back you guys up,
they've said some similar shit, about
okay,
that, like this is shit.
Then the question would be, did Michael Jackson ever perform ABC as a solo artist as an adult, or any song from the Jackson 5?
Yeah, I'm sure he did, because those were quantifiable hits. So I'm sure at some point during some crazy Michael Jackson medley that came on and he did his part. We're talking about a hit record that he had when he was a kid versus Pass the Pussy on the left-hand side. Like, we're talking about two totally different fucking things, you guys.
Does Britney Spears do Oops? I guess she still does like Oops.
Listen, this is wild. Rod, we appreciate you calling in. We got to get to the wheel. We got to spin the fucking wheel and wrap the night up. I appreciate you calling in and helping me win Andy's car. That was worth the whole night. Andy went back, by the way, just so y'all know, while we were talking, and he listened to the Sin interview where Sin confirms all the shit. And so,
okay.
Andy, you can hit my DM and I'll take your car and your house now.
All right, y'all do a good job, man. Y'all have a great night.
We appreciate
you too,
bro.
Great question today. Yeah, that made my night.
That made the show.
Man, that was fun, man. That was.
I'm glad he called in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was excellent.
I try to tell people, I'm waiting. Any second, Therese is gonna pop up, and any second he's gonna pop up and say, "I'm calling in." All right, I'm just making sure I got everybody on the wheel of names from Patreon and from YouTube. Looks like.
But by the way, did Sin reply and confirm that it was him on the song?
No, but
okay.
Andy took the time to go skim the Sin, the Sin interview, because he just couldn't believe your boy.
While we were live.
Andy
cares about his craft. That's all I can say. He wanted the answer, and he wanted to prove it himself, and he went and he found the truth. Truth talks. And he came back to the table.
He owes me a fucking car.
So I think, if anything, props to Andy for wanting to know, sticking to his guns, and then going finding the truth.
I guess.
I think that I'm still waiting on Sin's confirmation. So
what do you mean? Shut the fuck up. Are you out of your mind? Yo, this is.
I'm gonna go change all the Wikipedia just to rile up Cecil. Like, I just won't go to bed tonight, and then in the morning in Discord I'll just be like, "Yo, did you guys know Mo Hart is on Shasta?"
Yo, all you gotta do is look up the lyrics, and it says it's Gates and Mo Hart. Somebody in here was just like, quoting the fucking the lyric genius like we were idiots. He's like, it's Mo Hart and Gates. It says so right here, you guys.
Yeah.
All
the
right.
internet knows everything.
I think I got everybody's names in the big wheel of names.
One of the things I just want to throw in right there is Cold Blooded pointed out, only time I've seen Bone deviate from Collection Volume 1 was the East 99 show and a few songs during the Strength and Loyalty era, like I Tried, Candy Paint, and Bumps in the Trunk. So I want to pose this to the chat. What songs have you heard that weren't, Bone's greatest hits? I'll say that I seen Annihilate live twice. Like I seen Lazy Bone perform that at a Bone show. Annihilate, and I've even seen Fleshbone perform Y'all Be Snorting Doo-Doo. And I got to tell you, man, the Doo-Doo song and Annihilate were like the peak moments, other than like all the girls going nuts for Crossroads. But like you could feel the place amplify, because it seems like everybody there has gone to a gazillion Bone shows and have seen the same thing over and over again. And just to get something different made everybody like thrilled. So like Annihilate was the jam that night, and Y'all Be Snorting Doo-Doo was the jam that night.
Andy is killing me in this fucking chat right now. He said, I gotta walk to work tomorrow. Shut up, Andy. I'm not taking your car. We're too good of friends.
He said, hey, it's an accurate TSS 2010. Comes with a nice system with a great Bone playlist.
Jesus. Okay. Let me see if I can put the old wheel of names up. Tonight, it's too late. If you didn't get in when I told you earlier, we're spinning for a copy of I'm Busy, signed by Lil Busy and YBL Sinatra, given to us by our friends over at Beatbox LLC.
So, question for John while Cecil's gearing up for the Wheel of Fortune. So, does Beatbox shrink wrap that? It looks like it's shrink wrapped with like a sticker or a little card in it.
Yeah, it's got the Beatbox logo card with a certificate of authenticity, and there's a Beatbox card on the inside. So yeah, this appears, it would have to have been re-shrink wrapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Because I got 100 videos I have to put out. It hasn't got out yet, but I do have an unboxing of the Beatbox box that they send. And dude, you want to talk about people taking their time and making something beautiful. They're fully worth the order, and more than just you're gonna get some Bone stuff. Like they send you a personalized thank you, and they fucking like wrap everything in this nice like red paper, and dude, they really do some great shit.
Okay, hey, Beatbox is out there listening right now. Says, hey, we don't actually shrink
They
wrap.
are the fucking Beatbox.
We bought some nice sleeves that have a nice peel.
We're talking about you.
Yeah, well, hey, if shrink wrap's a bad word, it feels nice in my hand. It feels new. This doesn't feel like it was repurposed, and it's a good product.
I think a sleeve is nicer than shrink wrap, is I think what they're trying to say.
Yeah,
and I would agree that a CD size sleeve is nicer than just a shrink wrap machine.
In the certificate of authenticity has it's also protected.
Oh yeah, the
in
COA,
its own,
dude. They do the COA. Dude, they do a beautiful job. Beatbox LLC.
That's really cool.
If you guys haven't got an order in from them, you want to get in with them. They do everything with a lot of love, a lot of care. You don't just get a CD in a bubble wrap fucking container. Like they really make you feel like you ordered something special. And the COA, it's very cool, man. Y'all want to get on there, and I know they're expanding their business, and they're going to be doing even more stuff. They love this Bone Thugs and Harmony culture. So somebody is about to win a copy of Bizzy Bone's I'm Busy, signed by YBL Sinatra and Lil Busy. I got everybody's names on here. How many?
And anybody that's not subbed in.
26 entries.
Nice. If you guys aren't members, you could get in, be members for our next live. We'll be giving something else away.
Yep. beyondtheharmony.com. Scroll down to the Skull and Crossroads Society. Any level from apprentice up to level 99 gets you in. The apprentice level gets you all the cool icons and shit, the bees that you see next to the name, all the emojis, if somebody can drop the emojis in the chat. And then the other levels are through our Patreon. You definitely, we're getting the Patreon going. We appreciate, we got a couple core members over on our Patreon showing us so much love, and the Patreon means a lot to us. So we hope everybody motherfucking joins both of them. We tried to price them so that you could afford to be part of both. I collapsed a bunch of the levels into 3 easy levels over on the Patreon and dropped the prices of them all so that you could still be over here on the YouTube membership and get your icons and your emojis. But you know, Joe doesn't see his name. Joseph Tech doesn't see his name. Let's look.
Yeah, and I don't see a symbol by his name. I just see a wrench.
Oh, Joseph, did you not rejoin the YouTube? Did it never let you? I'll fix this for you right now. Just like that. You know?
Good thing we grandstanded there.
Just like that.
If there's one thing we're good at,
It's the grandstand.
even the grandstands have grandstands where we're from.
Well, that's right. Just the Patreon, I think. Oh, okay. I thought you rejoined The Apprentice as well to get your little icons. I'm glad you said something. I had Lil B in because I think he's just on the Patreon as well. All right. Here we go. Let's shuffle him up.
Brother, go.
I'm glad that we just added him live in front of everybody, though, so people could see that this was a real thing.
The inaugural OG 99th degree Joe Tech.
He is. There's only
One
two
and
of
only.
them. Joe Tech and Joe Cal. And they're the only 99th degree motherfuckers. They are hardcore.
Did you hit spin yet?
Not yet. I'm shuffling the
Beatbox.
names.
B-Box just joined.
Oh, Beatbox wants to win their own shit.
Nice. Well, thanks for joining.
All
Jordan
right.
Corey in the house.
Good to see you, Jordan.
All
Just
right.
in time for the spin. We got to get some music for this spin, bro. Like to make this more exciting. Like,
What if we got a Feenics Ryzin intro
Oh.
spin tro?
God, you
A
guys are killing
spin
me. I'm spinning the wheel.
Maybe she can work the word grandstanding into the lyrics.
Spin it to win it. Is there a Bone spin around song around the world? Is it spinning? There it goes. It's spinning.
RB Santana. I think they've won before and not cashed in. I think they have won before and not claimed their fucking prize.
Are you here, RB Santana? Are you with me?
RB, are you with me? Mo Santana me now.
I think they've won before. RB Santana, you got 2 weeks. Yeah, he won. Spin again.
RC says spin it back up.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm pretty sure they've won before and not claimed their shit. All right,
RB, are you here, though?
This is what we do. This is what we do, okay? It's the 25th. What's 2 weeks from now?
I will tell you. It is the 9th of May. May 9.
What do they call an actor when they got the backup actor?
Hey, we got proof of life. RB Santana.
Oh, he's there.
Yeah,
RB.
he's there. All right.
Okay. All right. I was about to spin the backup winner, but RB is here. Okay, RB. BeyondTheHarmony99@gmail.com. John, or if somebody could put that in the chat, BeyondTheHarmony99@gmail.com. Shout out to RB for winning. All you got to do is email us your address and the name and the address to ship it to, and you just won yourself a copy of I'm Busy, signed by Lil Busy and YBL Sinatra, courtesy of our friends over at Beatbox LLC. Shout out to RB for winning the big wheel prize tonight. It was a success. I love when it's successful.
That was fun.
Yeah, giving a shout out to George Ramirez up in the building.
He's like, I'm
with
here.
his,
I'm here. You guys, don't do it.
I won. Hey, good.
No, RB,
Finally.
just so you know, though, I think you've won before, and you weren't in the room, and we posted it, and I think we put it in the thing. Like, I think this is the second time you've won something, so I'm glad you were here.
From my possession to yours, RB.
About to be.
Yeah, I love the beatbox was here to see it happen too. That was fun.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
Good.
Andy,
times.
do you want to give
Good times.
him your car instead of Cecil, or what are you thinking? I know you got to work tomorrow, but like after that.
What if RB won this CD twice? Because I know this has been up for grabs twice.
I could probably go look. I'm sure we posted. Let me go
look. We could always go watch the episodes again.
No, I don't have to do that. I'm sure I put it in the community. Like, claim your fucking prize. You know?
Something funny to tell you too, by the way. We're not going there tonight, but next time we if this ever derails into a hip hop convo, I got a bunch of EPMD questions for you guys next time. Okay. I hope that's random as fuck.
All right. No, I think that's what we're about. We can't like just Bone Thugs. You have to like hip hop if you like Bone Thugs.
Looks like a Donald Henshaw. They never fucking claimed a prize. William East 1999 never claimed a fucking prize. Hey, it worked out good. FT guy, I think. FT guy is who won. That must be who we're thinking of. Instead of RB, it was FT. FT guy is who won. So FT guy won
familiar.
this and never claimed the prize. So FT didn't get it and RB did.
Awesome.
That's it. Going to RB. I think that's it. It's 10:11. We were shooting for 10 o'clock. It's been an interesting fucking night. It's been a weird night. We solved shots to the double Glock for the millionth fucking time. We made a $100 super chat goal. We talked a little bit about the show. Nothing too crazy. This was just to tap in with everyone. It'd been a few weeks. You know, we just wanted to tap in and show some love. We talked about the Patreon. If you're not on the Patreon, go join the fucking Patreon. People, I keep making a link that's not supposed to expire, but people still say it expires. So if you're not part of the Patreon, go to beyondtheharmony.com, click the Patreon. It should let you join. If it doesn't, beyondtheharmony99@gmail.com. Email us, say, hey, motherfuckers, the link's expired again. But join the Patreon. It's a lot of fun. That's where the after party is. After the party is the after party, and we'll be at the Patreon. So you know Discord. What it is. The Discord. But join our Patreon too. Patreon.com/BeyondTheHarmony. That's where all the bigwigs of the Skull and Crossroads Society get down. We got a Discord. We got a Patreon. You know, your Instagrams, your Twitters.
Absolutely. And for y'all that just can't get enough, y'all could carry on the convo in the Discord, in the voice chat, and you guys can stay up all night if you want.
That's all you got to do.
Listen to Hellsent together.
That's all you got to do. Go to the Discord. Go to the Discord. Go in the voice chat. Somebody will be there. That's
excellent night, fellas. I enjoyed it. We even kept it, relatively to the time. Tons of laughs. Great question from Gerard from Gainesville. That definitely was the highlight of the night. And we'll see you guys next time. And hey, one last question though: when is this Crazy Bone Chasing the Devil 2? What's the release date? Is there a real release date finally? Is it going to be May? What day in May? Will there be a listening party?
If there's a real date and we can plan it in advance, I'll do a listening party.
Oh, and Strangulation, I hope you got the crypto. I sent it your way. Check your Solana wallet.
Cold-Blooded said second week of May is what he heard. RC Thugs had just said the same thing.
Yay. Well,
waiting for never is what we're doing.
Nice. Yeah, I think you can plan on seeing us right after that.
Are we good?
I'm good.
Matt, I've grandstanded enough for one day.
We're good. My name is Cecil West, rocking with the one and only
John Lippy, and if y'all want to be on this next SNC episode, send me some material.
And of course, he is the co-hosting, coast to coasting, come up creeper, never sour, always sweeter, grandstanding, ladies and gentlemen.
I am Matthew Weaver.
And it is that motherfucking time in the night. Feenics, Ryzin, take us on home.
Beyond the harmony for the fans we celebrate. Uploading new videos every Thursday, so join